Time was passing fast. I wasn't sure if time was just passing fast to me or to all of Maycomb itself. As Jem and I got older, we started to understand more, especially about our father Atticus. The day I first heard about the trial was when I heard Cecile Jacobs scream about it at school.
Do you defend niggers, Atticus?
Of course I do. Don't say nigger, Scout. That's common.
That's what everyone at school says.
Then from now on, it'll be everyone must one.
Do all lawyers defend Negroes, Atticus?
Of course I do, Scout.
Well, Cecile Jacobs made it sound insulting when he said it.
I'm simply defending a Negro. His name is Tom Robinson. He lives in that little settlement beyond the town dump. He's a member of Calpurnia's church. Isn't that right, Cal?
Indeed, Atticus.
Scout, you aren't old enough to understand some things yet, but there's been high talk around town to the effect of a peculiar case.
If you shouldn't be doing it, then why are you?
For a number of reasons. The main one is, if I couldn't hold up my head in town. I couldn't represent this county. I couldn't even tell you or Jem not to do something.
Atticus, aren't we going to win?
No, honey.
I never really realized the severity of the case until I eavesdropped on my Uncle Jackson Atticus's conversation one night after Christmas.
Atticus, how bad is this going to be? You haven't had too much chance to discuss it.
It couldn't be worse. The only thing we've got is a black man's word against the Ewells. The evidence boils down to it. The jury couldn't possibly be expected to take Tom Robinson's word against the Ewells.
What are you going to do then?
I will jar the jury as much as I can. Do you think I could face my children otherwise? You know what's going to happen as well as I do. I hope and pray I can get Jem and Scout through it without bitterness, and most of all, without catching Maycomb's usual disease. I just hope Jem and Scout come to me for their answers instead of listening to the town. I hope they can trust me. Scout, go to bed.
I never figured out how Atticus knew I was listening, and it was not until many years later that I realized he wanted me to hear every single word he said. Jem was 12, he was difficult to live with, inconsistent, moody. He was changing right before my eyes.
Why does Jim hate me, Calpurnia?
Don't fret too much about Jim now, baby. He's just growing up. He'll be off doing whatever boys do. So you just come out in the kitchen when you ever feel lonesome. We'll find stuff to do. Want some cookies?
Yeah.
Now who could that be? Go ahead and catch the door.
Put my bags in the front bedroom, Calpurnia. Jean Louise, stop scratching your head.
Are you staying for a visit?
Didn't your father tell you? Well, Jem's growing up and now you are too. We both decided that it would be best for you to have some feminine influence. It won't be long before you become interested in the clothes and boy after all.
Soon, Jem's growing up and maturing stage was getting on my mood.
Really, you! I'd like to see you try.
Will you two stop it? So, did you miss me?
Dill, how'd you get here?
I stole $13 from my mom and took the train. I've been hiding under your bed now for about 2 hours, just waiting for you guys to get home.
You ran away from home?
That's right. I couldn't take it anymore in my house.
Dill, that's not right. Your mother should know where you are.
He's gonna tell on me? Mr. Finch, please don't tell Aunt Rachel, please. I won't do it. I won't go back. I'll just run away again.
Well, son, nobody's about to make you go anywhere other than bed right now. You need to sleep, then tomorrow we can talk this all through. You can stay with Jem.
Thank you, sir.
What are you doing here, Dale?
I just wanted to be with you. You can sleep. I just wanted to be here.
Dale?
Yeah?
Why do you reckon Blue Radley's never run off?
Maybe he has nowhere to run to.
The court trial was finally here. It seemed like everyone in the town had been waiting for this day, and a part of me was anticipating it as well. I will always remember that day like it was yesterday because it changed my life.
Now calling to the stand, Mr. Tate.
Can you please describe what happened, Mr. Tate?
Well, I was searched by Bob Ewell on the night of November 21st. He said to get out of the house quick, that some Negro raped his girl.
Did you go?
Certainly. I got in my car as soon as I could.
And what did you find?
I found her lying on the floor in the middle of the front room. She was pretty well beaten. I asked her who hurt her, and she said Tom Robinson.
Now, did you call a doctor, Sheriff? Did anyone call a doctor?
No, sir.
You didn't. Why not?
It wasn't necessary. She was banged up, but it wasn't necessary.
Done with questions.
Mr. Bob Ewell to the stand, please.
Are you the father of Myella Ewell?
Well, if I ain't, I can't do anything about it now. Her ma dead.
Okay, Mr. Ewell, can you please tell me what happened the night of November 21st?
Well, I'll tell you, I was out in the woods, and then I heard my eldest scream from the house. So I ran to the house.
Mr. Ewell, did you see Tom Robinson having sexual intercourse with Myella?
Yes, I did.
I see, and you as well didn't decide to call a doctor, although she was beaten so badly as Mr. Tate described to us.
It wasn't necessary. It would have cost me $5.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Myella Violet Ewell to the stand.
Miss Myella, please explain to us what you heard, what happened that night.
Well, everything you just heard. Papa gave me some work to do on the front porch and then went into the woods. I was having a hard time doing it, so I saw Tom Robinson walking along the street. I said, "Come here, nigger, help me with this. I got a nickel for you." So he came to me, and when I went inside to get the nickel, I saw he was behind me, and he got around me by the neck, around the neck, cussing me, saying I was dirt. He hit me over and over again. Then he chucked me onto the floor and choked me and took advantage of me.
Let me get to know you, Miss Myella. Do you love your father?
Love him? What do you mean?
I mean, is he good to you? Is he easy to get along with?
He's tolerable, except when he's...
Except when he's drinking. Does he ever go after you? Has he ever beaten you?
My paws never touched a hair on my head. He's never touched me.
I see. Miss Myella, when you were being beaten by Tom Robinson, did you scream and fight back?
Reckon I did. I hollered and kicked for all I was worth.
Well, then why didn't all your younger siblings hear you? Where were they? I mean, why didn't your screams make them come running? Or didn't you scream when you saw your father in the window? You didn't think to scream until then, did you? Did you scream? Did you scream at your father at first instead of Tom Robinson? Who beat you up, Tom Robinson or your father? What did your father see in the window, the crime of rape or the best defense to it? Why didn't you tell the truth, child? Didn't Bob Ewell beat you up?
I got something to say, and then I ain't gonna say it no more. The nigger yonder took advantage of me, and if you fine, fancy gentlemen don't want to do anything about it, you're all yellow, stinking cowards.
Alright, Atticus, how many witnesses you got?
Just one.
Well, call them.
Tom, you have said that you have to pass the Ewell home every time you go to work. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And have you talked to Myella Ewell before the incident of November 21st?
Yes, sir. She would ask me to fix things for her all the time. She would offer me money, but I never took it. I was happy to do it for her.
Did you ever step on the Ewell property without invitation?
No, sir. I would not do that.
Okay, so then tell us, Tom, what happened November 21st?
I was walking home as the usual, Mr. Finch, when I saw Miss Myella on the front porch. She called me over. She had a job for me to do. I went into the house with her and
Please go on, Tom.
well, she grabbed me and then she hugged me and then she kissed me, but that was when Mr. Ewell looked through the window. He said, not nice things, horrible things. He said, "You goddamn fool, I'll kill you. I'll kill you." Then I ran.
Why did you run, Tom?
I was scared, Mr. Finch.
Why were you scared, Tom?
If you were a nigga like me, you'd be scared too.
Gentlemen, I shall be brief, but I would like to use my remaining time with you to remind you that this case is not a difficult one. It requires no minute sifting of complicated facts, but it does require you to be sure beyond all reasonable doubt as to guilt the defendant. To begin with, this case should never have come to trial. This case is as simple as black and white. I'm no idealist to believe firmly in the integrity of our courts and in the jury system. That is no ideal to me. It is a living, working reality. Gentlemen, a court is no better than each man of you sitting here before me on this jury. A court is only as sound as its jury, and a jury is only as sound as the men who make it up. I'm confident that you gentlemen will review without passion the evidence you have heard, come to a decision, and restore this defendant to his family.
We got him. We won. You think so? I know so. You saw that evidence. How can we not win?
I didn't agree with Jem, although I would have liked to. I may not have understood most of the trial, but I understood that I could, and I had a feeling that no matter how hard Atticus tried or what magic words he said to the jury, he would not win this case.
Order, everyone please.
I saw something only a lawyer's child could be expected to see, could be expected to watch for. A jury never looks at a defendant it has convicted, and when this jury came in, not one of them looked at Tom Robinson. I shut my eyes, and as I heard Judge Taylor polling the jury, guilty, 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 guilty,